Okay, real talk. If emotional clutter were a closet, most of us would need a damn dumpster. October's here to make you throw that emotional junk out. And I'm not talking about your ex's hoodie. I mean the thoughts, the guilt, the shoulda beens, all that emotional gunk that's been renting space in your brain for free. This is the month of cleansing, not just your home, but your head and heart. Because before we wrap this year out with a sparkly bow and call it growth, we need to face the stuff we've been sweeping under the emotional rug. And here's the magic of October. It's not about chaos. It's about clarity. About standing right in the messy middle of who you are, taking a deep breath and deciding what stays and what goes. So if you've been feeling like your brain's a crowded Google Drive full of old emotions, half-finished versions of yourself, and 10 open tabs of what ifs, this episode is your reset button. Stay with me till the end because I'm walking you through a simple, soulful ritual, something you can actually feel, not just think about, to help you reflect, release, and realign before the year closes. All right. Let's do this together. Well, hey, beautiful humans. Welcome back to Growing Together. I'm so glad you're here. Pull up a chair, make yourself a warm drink, and let's get cozy because today we're doing something deliciously autumnal. We're going to reflect, release, and realign. This is a little ritual for October energy. Tiny, fierce, practical, and absolutely doable. Stay with me until the end because I promise you, the mini ritual I'll teach you will reset your energy for the rest of the year. Seriously, don't skip the ending. Can we all be honest for a second? Over the last few weeks, I've been noticing this theme in my life. Holding on. Holding on to plans that no longer fit, to relationships that have shifted, and to a ton of mental clutter that I keep polishing like it's a trophy. And I bet you, somewhere in your world, you have something similar. October, with its fall light and quieter evenings, invited me to ask, what if letting go could be gentle and intentional? What if we could treat release like a ritual instead of a punishment? All right, let's get real. Part 1, reflect. So what does reflect even mean? Not just thinking about things. I mean a tender, honest look at what's actually happening in your life. Do you feel lighter? Heavier? Are there things you keep resizing to fit who you used to be? I remember a season where I kept a friendship alive because of nostalgia. We had so many memories, but being together felt like a performance. I'd spend time editing myself so the story stayed pretty. One evening, I realized I was exhausted, not from the hangouts, but from trying to be the version of myself that fit someone else's script. That's when I learned that reflection isn't about blame, it's about clarity. Try this. Take a page or an app note and write 3 things you're doing out of habit that don't serve you. Then write 1 feeling next to each. Be gentle. This isn't a witch hunt. It's detective work. Say it like the scientist, not a judge. I want to read something that stayed with me. Being honest isn't the same as being cruel. Honesty is kindness with the backbone. So, when we reflect, we are practicing kindness with clarity. Now, here's a tiny story because stories stick better than lectures. One September, I kept re-saying yes to committee meetings that drained me. I was present physically, but checked out mentally, scrolling through my phone and mentally to-do listing the next week. One day, I sat in the meeting and realized my energy had been parceled out to everything except myself. I left early. I felt guilty for 1 minute. Then relief came like coffee on a frozen morning. That relief was my clue. The thing I was holding on to wasn't mine anymore. It belonged to a version of me that had expired like a coupon. Reflection gives us the courage to notice that. What's one habit that you notice drains your energy? Would you write it down right now? Put a sticky note on your desk or your mirror or in your notes app and whisper the truth. You don't have to decide what to do about it yet. First, notice. Then, be kind to what you noticed. Okay, breathe. Because once you've seen it, the natural next step is to release. And no, release is not dramatic. It can be small, practical, and very, very tender.
Part 2. Release. Enter Mel Robbins and her lovely, noisy, liberating let them theory. The gist: stop trying to convince other people to be who you need them to be. Let them be. Let them react. Let them live. And then take the heavy emotional suitcase off your shoulder. Think about this metaphor. We try to carry other people's feelings like they're our own. That's like walking around with a stranger's raincoat stuck on us. It's awkward and damp and somehow ends up smelling like regrets. Mel's invitation is radical in its simplicity. Let it be. Save your energy for what you can influence: your boundaries, your choices, your response. So, how do we practice that? I tried a small experiment, big on gentle rebellion, small on drama. For 1 week, I stopped explaining myself. If someone asked why I didn't text back, I said, I needed quiet. If someone asked to take on a favor I couldn't, I said, I'm choosing rest. That's it. No over-justifying, no mental performance. What happened? People actually respected it. Some adjusted, some didn't, and my headspace improved. I felt like the air around my decisions got cleaner. This matters for October because release is the seasonal muscle we need to practice before the year-end sprint. The world will keep asking things of you. You get to pick which ask you answer. So here's the practical first step. Write down what you want to release. Literally write it. Put it on a small piece of paper, fold it, keep it in your pocket or on your nightstand. We will use this paper in the mini ritual at the end. Stay, okay? Promise me you'll stay for that part. It's small, but it will land like a little anchor. And while we're on release, let me say one more thing. Release does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying the part you were never meant to wear. It's an act of care for yourself. Part 3. Realigned. So you reflected, you named the heaviness, and you practiced a small release. Now what? Now you realign. This is the steadying, the daily scaffolding that helps the release stick. Think Ryan Holiday's stoic focus on what you can control and James Clear's tiny habits that actually become identity. I loved the simplicity of pairing a habit with something I already do. I started saying, after I put the kettle on for tea, I will sit down and breathe for 30 seconds. Tiny, almost laughably tiny. But over a week, that habit stitched my morning into a slow rhythm. Later, the mind learned tea means pause, which is exactly what we want. Less reaction, more intention. Here's a little framework for the next 30 days. Pick 3 anchors: morning, midday, evening. Morning anchor, 30 seconds of breath after your first cup. Midday anchor, 1 sentence of gratitude. Evening anchor, jot down 1 win and 1 thing to release tomorrow. These are tiny scaffolds to do the heavy lifting gently. I don't know if this happens to you,
But for me, when I skip the anchors, my brain holds a meeting about all my unfinished projects at 2 a.m. No bueno. Anchors help cancel that late night down hall. Let's add a Ryan holiday spice. Ask yourself daily, what is in my control today? If the answer is my response, write down one calm action you will take if stress appears. Breathe. Call a friend. Step outside for 5 minutes. Keep it simple. And James Clear gives us the trick. Stack it on till it's already reliable. If you brush your teeth every night, I hope you do, then after that, do 1 minute of deep breathing. That's it. Not 20, not 30, 1 minute. Your brain will say, meh, the first day, and oh, not bad, by the fourth, and by the 12th, you'll be wondering why you ever did without it. I promise I used to be dramatic about habits. Full on, my life will change tomorrow energy. Then I learned the beauty of being boring and consistent. It's the slow build that creates actual changes. Quick detour, Orion Holiday teaches control the controllables. And Mark Manson generously reminds us that you have limited fucks to give. Both together are permission slips. Give energy to what matters, withhold energy from the rest. Realignment is not deprivation, it's wise allocation. If you're doing this with me, drop a leaf emoji in the comments right now. Let me know you're here. Tell me one habit you think you could stack. I read all of the comments, I really do. Now, I want to get tender here because release can pull up grief, resentment, and relief sometimes all at once. That's normal. This work isn't just Instagram breath work. It's just the messy inner excavation. When you pull on a thread of letting go, you might find an old wound attached or a hope you thought was dead. Sweetheart, that's human. Be tender. Practice for a minute if you can. When a heavy feeling appears, name it aloud. This is grief. This is anger. Naming reduces the charge. Then place your hand on your heart and breathe 4 in, 6 out. Do it twice. That tiny ritual calms the nervous system and helps you locate the feeling instead of becoming it. I used to tuck feelings into my literal sock drawer because I thought if they were hidden, they'd stop hurting me. Spoiler, they just get dusty. And hey, remember that folded paper we made earlier? Keep it safe. At the end, we'll bring it into the mini ritual to reset your energy for the rest of the year. Keep breathing. Stay with me. Let's get practical with journaling prompts that aren't cheesy and that actually work. 1. What am I holding that no longer fits? 2. What wound or fear keeps me gripping? 3. What small thing can I do this week to move toward release? 4. Who do I need to forgive, including myself? Write fast, no editing. This is honesty with a soft edge. If any of these questions feel too big, start with the smallest. What annoyed me today? That is a map. Logistics for the ritual. You'll need a small piece of paper, a pen, a safe bowl, and a minute or 2 of uninterrupted space. If you want candlelight, that's lovely. If not, the desk lamp will do just fine. If burning isn't your jam, tearing and burying works. Symbol matters more than method. All right, you've been patient. I adore you. Time for the mini ritual. The thing I promised would reset your energy for the rest of the year. This is the payoff. If you've been thinking about skipping to the end, don't. The ritual lands better after the prep we just did, okay? Stay. Mini ritual to reset your energy. Do it now, quietly and safely. Step 1. Sit comfortably. Hold the folded paper in both hands. Close your eyes. Name one thing you are releasing aloud. Say it clearly.
not a whisper, not performative. Say it like you mean it. For example, I release the need to be liked by everyone. Or, I release the habit of saying yes when I mean no. Speak it. Step 2. Breathe in deeply for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Do that 3 times. Feel the breath move through your body. Let it anchor you. Step 3. Unfold the paper. On the back, write one short sentence about what you want to invite instead. Maybe more calm, clearer boundaries, joy in small things. Keep it concise and in the present tense. Example, I invite gentle clarity. Step 4. If you have a candle, light it. If not, simply set the paper in a safe bowl. Say, I release what I cannot change. I invite what nourishes me. Then safely burn the paper in the bowl, or tear it into pieces and let them fall into water, or fold it into the earth. Choose what feels right to you. The method is less important than the intention. Step 5. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, I realign with what matters. Pause. Breathe. When you're ready, open your eyes. How do you feel? Maybe nothing? Maybe everything. That's normal. This ritual isn't the magic eraser. It's a compass. It points you toward intention. Over the next days, return to your anchors. They will remind you of this moment. Okay, tiny practical check-ins for the next week. After the ritual, pick one tiny habit from our anchors to do daily. Track it if you like, but only for kindness. If you miss a day, be gentle. James Clear says, never miss twice. That little rule keeps momentum without protein. And a little caution. Rituals can stir emotions. If you find tears or anger, allow them. If you feel destabilized, reach out to a friend or professional. Ritual helps, but it's not a replacement for support when you need it. I know. I'm very dramatic about self-care. Guilty. But in a good way. Before we close, let's tie everything together with a quick reflection exercise. Take 1 minute to answer. What did you notice during the ritual? Was there a physical shift, a thought that surprised you? Write that down. Then set an intention for one small thing to do tomorrow that supports your invited life. For example, tomorrow I will say no to one extra ask, or tomorrow I will walk for 5 minutes before checking my phone. Drop that intention in the comments if you want accountability. I read these. Authentic accountability in this space lights torch-like momentum for us all. Quick reminder, if you want to go deeper, the book list in the description includes The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday, and The Atomic Habits by James Clear. I included specific page references for the exercises we mentioned. No pressure to read everything. Start with one chapter and bring the idea into practice. Now, final coaching pep talk. The goal of this ritual isn't to prove you can be perfect at letting go. It's to give you a repeatable practice that helps you release and then realign. Letting go is a muscle. The more you use it with intention, the less it will hurt, and the more you'll have space for the life you actually want. Also, just so you know, if you decide to bury your paper in a plant pot, please label it. Don't forget your release in the soil of last year's basil. True story. Not mine, but imagine.
Let's close with a tiny experiment. For the next 48 hours, try one of these micro rituals whenever you feel your energy dipping. Pause and breathe for 30 seconds. Say out loud one thing you're releasing, and choose one tiny action that aligns you with what you invited. Little cumulative actions become your new baseline. If you did the ritual with me, even in spirit, type one word in the comments. Released, realigned, or whatever feels true. If you didn't do it yet, the invitation is still here. come back. Pause. Do it with a cup of chamomile and soft music if that's your thing. If this landed, please give this video a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We have more coming. Gentle practices, storytelling, and honest tools for living more fully. Share this with someone who needs a soft nudge to let go. One tiny reminder. The books and resources are linked in the description. Before you go, take one deep breath with me. In for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Say it with me. I am growing and I am good enough. I'll say it again. I am growing and I am good enough. We're in this together, always. Thank you for being here. Keep growing, keep laughing, and above all, keep being gloriously you. See you next time. In November, we'll lean into a slow month practice to carry this gentle reset forward. Until then, reflect, release, realign. Love you.